So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Irish businesses seeking to reduce their dependency on the UK ahead of more Brexit red tape. So not great. It's going to mean less money for the UK, but it's ironic reading this article that Ireland are more prepared for Brexit than the UK are. Isn't that funny? So Irish businesses are seeking to reduce their dependency on the UK market amid concerns about the imposition of further Brexit-related checks or red tape measures, according to Grant Thornton, Ireland's latest international business. Grant Thornton's Ireland's latest international business report, and I think I don't know if we're doing import checks from Ireland, or at least Britain are doing checks from goods moving from Ireland to GB. Last time I read about this stuff, we weren't doing them, so it's a bit strange. I know the UK are doing physical inspections in July, so if the UK are doing checks now, then fair enough. I wasn't aware of it. Last time I read, Ireland was kind of exempt from it. So the survey of 62 mid-sized Irish businesses found that over a quarter, 27%, were endeavouring to reduce their exports to the UK, while 21% were trying to reduce their reliance on UK supply. So you've got two different things here. So if we break this down, so reduce their exports to the UK. So they're trying to reduce the amount of stuff they sell to the UK, be that finished goods or components that go into other things, right? Whilst 21% were trying to reduce their reliance on UK suppliers. So that would be reducing their dependency on finished goods and or small components that go into other goods. So that would make sense. About a fifth of them looking to reduce their reliance on the UK, because anything that comes from the UK will have to get checked to go to Ireland, which is a huge problem because of paperwork and all that other nonsense. So it can take a while. So it makes sense for them to do this when they can supply from other other EU members, especially as the UK, GB, is no longer the land bridge between Ireland and the rest of the EU. It's now Ireland that is the land bridge into the UK or into Britain. Trade bodies are, however, warning that further post-Brexit border controls due to come into force in June could cause long delays at UK ports, further hampering trade. And the physical inspections thing is a massive concern, I think, for a lot of people, because the UK don't have the staff to deal with this stuff. There are already huge delays now. We're talking hours, days, up to days of lorries being delayed because of paperwork and other things, right? So once physical inspections start happening, once they start looking at a good specifically saying what's in that box, you're not allowed to sell that here, it's going to cause further problems. Which, physical inspections do have to happen at some point, but you have to make sure you have the staff to deal with it. And it will further kind of reduce trade between, GB and the EU. With many Irish businesses reducing their exports to the UK, Ireland is looking towards the US, which again is a third country to the EU, but the US has probably far not easier customs rules per se, but a far more fluid system where they wouldn't face as many delays because they would have the staff in place to deal with it. The US deals with a lot of third countries, where it's identified the greatest market opportunity for the coming 12 months. And the US is an extremely large market, which I think buys a lot of Irish whiskey. So the US will be a large market for Ireland, and they're looking at probably shifting exports from GB to shifting them to the US, which is interesting because of geography, highlighting a shift in priority from last year, where Irish businesses identified the UK as having the greatest market opportunity, Grant Thornton's report said. Despite the additional challenges posed by Brexit, Irish businesses still identify the UK as the main territory for revenue growth over the coming year, which again is another interesting point given the import-export checks that are happening, all the delays and extra costs. Again, it's probably down to geography and kind of a shared culture around food. The foods that I think people in Britain eat aren't that different to the food Irish people eat, which indicated that despite the red tape and additional paperwork associated with Brexit, the UK will still remain a key market for Irish businesses, the report said. Amid the current surge in inflation, almost two-thirds, 63% of Irish businesses surveyed said they expect to increase selling prices over the coming months, which again is going to impact UK consumers and manufacturers because we're going to have to, stump up the additional costs really. So if you're a manufacturer buying composite products for something you want to put into a bigger product, your costs are going to go up. Same thing for consumers who want to buy things to eat or to use. Costs are going to go up, which inflation is rising around the world, but it's hitting the UK worse because of our stupid government. Many Irish businesses have employed additional resources to deal with the realities of Brexit, Gareth O'Keefe, head of indirect taxes at Grant Thornton Ireland, said, which makes sense. You're going to have to, if you still see the UK as a viable market, you're going to have to throw a lot of resources around getting in, people, getting customs agents, making sure all the paperwork is correct, making sure you have all your customs fees paid, etc., to make sure trade goes as smoothly as it can do. Irish businesses are looking to explore alternative markets within the EU, United States, and China as they look to decrease dependency on the UK market. It could be because they're seeing a further kind of economic downturn in the UK and realising that maybe it's time we look at other markets, other third countries as well as the EU, because the UK might not be as great as it is in a few years' time. But they're also saying that the UK or GB is kind of still a big market for them. So it's quite interesting, kind of the logic of these Irish businesses, not questioning or criticising them per se, but just saying it's interesting stuff. While it is a challenging time for Irish businesses amid rising inflation, labour market shortages and Brexit bureaucracy, it is promising to see that 85% of businesses are optimistic for the coming 12 months and are channeling resources into exploring alternative non-domestic markets for business growth. He said, so essentially they're looking at other places they can sell to, as well as keeping the UK at where it is, keeping UK trade where it is. So interesting stuff here from this survey. We'll see what happens. You can see trade dropping between GB and Ireland. We're already seeing that happen. Trade between Northern Ireland and Ireland has gone up significantly, which makes sense because geography, they're very, they're on the same landmass, and there aren't checks going between either entity, should we say, before I walk into any more landmines here. But so that doesn't surprise me at all, especially because if, say, the goods go into Northern Ireland, they can then go into Ireland without as many problems, I believe, even though they're meant to be data published on how much trade is going between Northern Ireland and Ireland. The British government don't want to give those sorts of details out. Neither do they want to give the details out on trade going from GB to NI. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.